Alrighty, yo, hey guys, it's Beast, back with some more Beastly content, and as you can see, when I load into my Point Atlas farm, when the time of day is a nighttime time, after leaving the game with full batteries, when you load into the game, your batteries will start at 0 because the game detects that the solar panels are currently off. Meaning that these are not very effective batteries either, guys. So anyway, while I do like to look at this, and while I will be leaving this powered by these because it's only a carbon farm as well as a research facility for some indigenous nip such as Silver Surfer here, what we're going to be getting onto now is actually going to be my next base build. It's a nip farm, guys, but this one is going to be important. Today I'm going to be telling you how to avoid solar panels, to avoid the EMS generators, to avoid the fuel generators that require a bunch of oxygen in order to even try and use them, which is a terrible idea because there's no sort of hopper system in this game yet. Base building needs a major expanse. I'm going to go ahead and say that now. They need to do a major overhaul to the base building, just with adding a bunch of new items, like more power items, hoppers sort of systems like in Minecraft where we can connect hoppers to refiners, especially for freighters even. That'd be cool. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about what they need to do to the game. I'm just here to tell you how to enable what I am going to be calling nip powering. Now, in order for you to make this legitimately, you need to actually build your nip generator at your base that you are going to be using the nip power in. So if you go down here to ease of use, I have a couple options changed. I have inventory transfer range is set to infinite right now, just because I haven't bothered to go mess with freighters, and I can't be bothered not to have my freighter storage system accessible in every system. So I have, of course, set this. And then unrestricted, once again, I don't have all of the drives installed on my freighter, and freighters are like the least of the things I want to be doing. And when you're wanting to do base buildings, not having your freighter in certain systems is going to be killer. But here is what they have disguised as base power in here. What this actually is it enables you to use what I call as nip power. This will basically allow where we can create some nip generators, which I'm going to go ahead and show you a nip generator today, guys. And this nip generator is going to allow us to go ahead and not use any of the other system. It's going to give us a, get this guys, nip energy is infinite. That means it can power as big of a base as you need. All you need is a little nip and you'll be fine. So let's get on into this, guys. We are going to be heading to the new base I'm working on. Alrighty, guys, so from here on out at this base, let me just go ahead and show you what I got going on here. So my generator is going to be a 9x9 square. That is what I will consider a good generator for this size farm. This farm is going to be a tower-based nip farm. I am going to be trying to get about 800 nip in this farm. Anything over 800 and you really will run into the chance of a farm breaking at one point, causing it where none of your plants will grow, and the only solution is to either delete all of your plants or delete the base, and I've lost nip farms to this. So I keep a limit of only 800 nip that I'm actually accessible to get at any point. I'll only keep 800 nip and then I'll create one of these farms and build 800 nip. Maybe a little bit over. You can go a little over. That if you do go over, I would definitely be slow on your harvesting process, and definitely don't accidentally like start to click the E and then don't click it. I don't know exactly how it happens, but it definitely is an annoying issue. But the rest of this is actually going to be voiced over so that I'm allowed to modulate the timing of how fast things are going, just because this could take, you know, a good 30 minutes in real time. But this is going to be a nip generator guide. Let us go. Alrighty, so the first thing we actually began to do was place these carbon little harvester thingies here. You can harvest carbon from these when you plant them, but they're also mainly for decoration. We also put down a galactic trade terminal. That was important, and we took the base computer out of our little square sandbox area here. I would suggest doing this. This will just allow you to line things up easier when it comes to building this. You can build these however you want. That is not going to be Anything that's restricted, you can build them as crazy or as cool looking as you want with as least or as most materials as you want. This is a simple basic one, but it still used a decent amount of materials, and I feel like this would be an adequate amount of materials to spend on a power system. So the next thing we did was use these weird looking carbon containers. We used these as what I'm going to be considering the primary nip. These are going to be different strains of nip. They are going to be harvesting the power of these. They are also going to be conduits of the energy of plants. As you can see here, all of these here walls are actually going to be the nip harvested from the farms and stuck down here, all processed into these little walls here, growing energy. The next thing we are going to be needing to add, we're going to be, I'm not sure what they are, but these somehow also gather and resonate all of the nip energy in here. And then of course the main key item and the hardest thing to get is these. These are actually going to be from Corrupted Worlds, guys. Once again, you can build it how you want, but these are from Corrupted Worlds. These are the exotic items that you're going to need to obtain in order to build a nip farm. You have to go find one of these weird worlds. I think they're called Shattered Worlds, actually. These exotic decorations can be found that will allow this whole farm to work. The resources in here are straight from the Corrupted Sentinels, meaning that this is basically a Corrupted Sentinel nip farm. Now, the next thing to do is to start placing glass. We unfortunately found we were way too low on glass, so we went and got some, and the first time we placed about, I think, like 8 of these, and then we realized that we still were going to be needing some glass. I think we were going to need glass. Actually, I think this is the end of the glass. Okay, so the next part we did was actually built up wood walls from the sandstone walls. Like I said, that was going to be the simplest way of boxing this in perfectly cleanly. All you had to do was line up the very first piece of glass perfectly even with the sandstone, and when you go ahead and snap the rest of the glass to it, it will snap perfectly. Then you can snap the wood walls to the sandstone walls, allowing for a very easy. This is going to be my primary room for this farm. I'm going to use base teleporters. That is the reason why I've left a hole in the ceiling. This here was my interface area to interface with this giant generator. You are going to need a way to interface this, complete with cables ran to it, because you are going to need a way to interface this, because of course there's going to be needing someone to manage this thing. So the first thing we did here is actually use one single battery and then one single solar panel. These are going to be what are going to pass the energy from the nip generator down there to our entire base through this console here. We then ran as many wires as we could from the battery to the solar panel down below. These are the only solar panel or battery you're going to need. You don't have to do this once again. You can go to how you want, but for me, I wanted to have wires running through glass so it showed the energy was coming from the nip. You see it running through the lines, right, guys? But this was pretty much it. I am going to have a cinematic here. Once again, you will have to go to your base computer and enable creative power. That is what you're going to have to do. But I am out, guys. See us. Keep it beast mode. And once again, all you need is a little nip. Enjoy the cinematic showcase. I'm out.